Hey YouTube, Nick the Smoking Irishman here. First I'll have you know that I said I was going to, that last night when I did the Today in History video, I said it was my last video and I was going to bed. I decided differently, came out and got my little eaten corn cob, so happy corn cob Tuesdays when you're going to see this. And it is got some Milan Tobacconist Reflections in it. It's really, really good. So I came back out and decided that I would pre-tape like it's back in the 80s with a VCR, pre-film tomorrow's, which would be today's, that's all going to be confusing, tomorrow's Today in History for you, because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be late for work, or it's going to be late at night, which also means that I am going to have to probably put off the movie review until hopefully Wednesday. So, with all that being said, let's get to it. Now is episode 2 of Today in History. June 30th, 1859. Jean Francois Gravet. I know that I'm completely butchering that French name, but that's how I see it. A Frenchman, known professionally as Emile Bladin, becomes the first daredevil to walk across the Niagara Falls on a tightrope. The feat, which was performed 160 feet above the gorge just downriver from the falls, was witnessed by some 5,000 spectators. Wearing pink tights and a yellow tunic, Bladin crossed a cable about 2 inches in diameter and 1,100 feet long. Excuse our interruption. 1,100 feet long, with only a balancing pole to protect him from plunging into the dangerous rapids below. It was the first of a series of famous Niagara tightrope walks performed by the great Bladin from 1859 to 1860. These ascensions, as he advertised them, always had a different theatrical variation, including blindfolded, in a sack, with his manager on his back, now I feel like Dr. Seuss, sitting down midway to cook an omelet, and pushing a wheelbarrow across while dressed as an ape. In 1861, he performed at the Crystal Palace in London, turning somersaults on stilts on a rope stretched 170 feet above the ground. He died in 1897. 1936. On June 30th in 1936, Gone with the Wind was published. Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind, one of the best-selling novels of all time and the basis for a blockbuster's 1939 movie, is published. A couple little interesting little facts about Gone with the Wind. First, when she wrote it, the lead character's name was Pansy. Before she finished it, she showed the manuscript to a publisher, and he encouraged her to finish the book, but to change the name of the lead character from Pansy to Scarlet. It was such a success that by the time that she had won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 1937, a year after it was released, a movie deal was already in the works. The movie was produced by Hollywood giant David O. Selznick, who paid Mitchell a record $50,000 for the rights to her book. $50,000. Imagine how much the movie has made today. I think that if she was still alive, she would be pretty pretty upset and considered that she got screwed. I mean, of course, back in 1937, $50,000 was a ton of money. 1934, Night of Long Knives. In Germany, Nazi leader Adolf Hitler orders a bloody purge of his own party, assassinating hundreds of Nazis whom he believes has the potential to become political enemies in the future. So see, he was just crazy all the way around. He didn't like Jews, and apparently he didn't like Nazis. In 1953, the first Corvette is built. On this day in 1953, the first production Corvette is built at the General Motors plant in Flint, Michigan. Tony Kleber, a line worker, is given the privilege of driving the now historic car off the line. All 1953 Corvettes were white convertibles with red interior and a black canvas top. Underneath its sleek exterior was nothing special. Corvette's performance as a sports car was disappointing to say the least, especially in comparison to its European counterparts, and early sales were crappy. GM kept working on it, and by 1961, Corvette had cemented its reputation as America's favorite sports car. Today, of course, it continues to rank among the world's elite sports cars in acceleration, top speed, and overall muscle. Way to go, GM, on the Corvette. Woo! Corvette, woohoo! Sorry, I'm getting tired. In 1962, Sandy Koufax strikes out 13 batters and walks 5 to lead the Brooklyn Dodgers to a victory over the New York Mets 5-0. And this was his first career no-hitter. Koufax went on to throw 3 more no-hitters, including a perfect game on September 9th, 1965, in which he allowed no hits and no walks. Now, there's a whole lot of other things that went on. You know, a lot of other really cool things about Sandy Koufax, and, you know, more to this whole story of the whole Hitler thing, and more to the story of the Corvette and all that. I would urge you to do some research of your own, and if you're interested in any of those things, these things that I told you, to go ahead and, you know, research them and see what you think. Also, in a way to cite this, or however you want to say it, all of my research was done on the History Channel, or History.com, basically the History Channel. So, if you want to go there and check it out, and it even says right down at the bottom that they strive to make sure that everything is true and accurate, and if we see something wrong, to let them know. And so, that is the second Today in History. I don't know if you guys are going to like this or not. I enjoy it. I need to get it to where I can tape several at a time, preferably like the whole week at a time. Because I got other things going on. Oh, trying to light place on fire. I got other things going on that I'd like to be able to share with you guys, but this one takes quite a bit of time to research it and everything like that for you guys, and write it down in my own words and whatnot. So, that's Today in History, Episode 2, and I'll let you guys go. And as always, wherever you go, whatever you do, may the luck of the Irish be there with you. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.